Coming up on BCN today, new peace officers are fully trained and ready to hit the streets in Lethbridge. Plus, Alberta withdrawing from the Canada Pension Plan, still a hot topic. And another shooting at a high school in the U.S. leaves 2 dead and 4 others injured.
Your Canada. Your Southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Roche.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on this Friday. Lethbridge Police Service's first community peace officers have officially completed their training and are ready to hit the streets. 9 peace officers have been appointed by the province. Ainsley O'Reilly explains exactly what their role will be in our community.
Lethbridge will be the only community in the province to have active community peace officers on duty. Thursday was their first day on the job.
It's very, very exciting. They've had their 22 weeks of training, 16 weeks of being with an experienced police officer.
A total of 9 officers have been hired who are confident in their months of preparation.
Feels good. I'm excited. I'm eager. Gone through a lot of training to be here, so I'm excited to get out on the street and start my job.
Very well trained, very knowledgeable, very good with the community, and I'm very excited to have them out here.
Since the provincial budget was released, the UCP government says that they will provide extra training to 400 peace officers who work in fish and wildlife. Now, that is to target rural crime. The 9 officers stationed in Lethbridge will be working within the city.
As of right now, we are just solely posted in one area, which is the downtown area. And I can't speak to any future postings or anything like that. I'm unsure.
CPOs are fully trained police cadets who can do a lot of the same things a police officer can. However, there are differences.
So one of the biggest difference is definitely our criminal code authorities, and then that kind of limits the calls we're going to be attending to.
Lethbridge Police will be recruiting for more CPOs in the near future, with training anticipated at the start of 2020. For Bridge City News, I'm Ainsley O'Reilly.
Thank you, Ainsley. Lethbridge police are investigating after a masked man attempted to rob 2 pharmacies on Thursday. At around 10 a.m., police responded to a report of a robbery at Norbridge Pharmacy along the 700 block of 23rd Street North. He entered the pharmacy and demanded narcotics. Staff refused, and the subject fled on foot. Then later that afternoon, a masked man matching the same description entered the Prescription Center West Pharmacy along Jerry Potts Boulevard. As he approached the counter, staff told him to get out, and he left without incident. The suspect in both incidents is described as Caucasian, approximately 25 to 30 years old, 5'6" to 5'8" tall, wearing a black mask, green camouflage, hooded sweater, black pants, and black shoes. If you have any information about this individual, you are asked to call Crime Stoppers. And in a separate incident, Lethbridge police have charged a 36-year-old man in connection with an assault Wednesday morning. Police say a 55-year-old man was stopped at a red light on Mayor McGrath Drive when he was motioned by an unknown man to pull over. When the driver stopped near the Campbell Clinic, he was confronted by a man with a knife who yelled at him and threatened him. The man drove away without injury. Police were able to find the suspect. A short time later, he was taken in along with the knife and 11 prepackaged doses of fentanyl. 36-year-old Stanley Wade Standing alone faces many charges, including assault with a weapon, and will appear in court on Monday. A man was arrested in Calgary following a multiple collisions following a cube van that left some police in need of medical attention. Reports say a U-Haul was being driven erratically around 4:30 Thursday morning, and at least 2 police cruisers were hit as they tried to stop the van. Tips from the public helped police locate the van, and the driver was taken into custody. Police don't believe the man was intentionally striking vehicles or trying to harm anyone. Drugs are believed to have been a factor. Experts are raising questions about the possibility of Alberta withdrawing from the Canada Pension Plan. Premier Jason Kenney has asked a panel to review the idea as a way for the province to have more autonomy from the federal government. Leo De Beaver, former CEO of the organization that would administer a separate Alberta pension plan, says such a switch doesn't make much sense from an efficiency point of view. And Carl Littler with the Retail Council of Canada says an Alberta pension plan raises questions about how it would affect future retirement incomes. Littler says anything that might jeopardize retirement incomes would be a concern. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's meeting this morning with Green Party's Elizabeth May will be more of a courtesy than a negotiation. Trudeau is wrapping up a week of meetings to drum up support from opposition leaders as he prepares to return to Parliament in December without a majority in the Commons. The Greens elected more MPs than ever before in last month's vote. Meanwhile, NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says if Trudeau wants the New Democrats to support his minority government, the Liberals will have to move forward on universal pharmacare and dental coverage.
Just had a meeting with the Prime Minister and we went over some of the priorities. I'm sure it's not a surprise to you all, but I really wanted to encourage the Prime Minister to indicate some things in the throne speech that would show that we could work together. And one of those priorities is universal pharmacare. We believe it has to be public and single payer that covers all Canadians. I also indicated that I would like to see support on dental care. In addition, we talked about a number of other important priorities around affordability, around housing, around real action on the climate crisis. And that means tougher targets, but also means making sure we create jobs. There's a lot of Canadians that feel ignored, they feel like they've been forgotten. They need to know that we are going to make sure that we invest and create jobs in communities that are hard hit.
Lethbridge was named one of Western Canada's top cities to invest in property. Western Investor has compiled a list of, and Lethbridge came in number 4 overall. Despite a slowdown in Alberta, our economy has been doing well the past couple of years, seeing a 5.1% growth. The Conference Board of Canada says Lethbridge economy will also grow 2.7% next year. They are forecasting 2,700 jobs being created in the city this year and next. Western Investor says continued growth at the University of Lethbridge and Lethbridge College are significant factors, as are healthcare facilities like the Chinook Regional Hospital and St. Mike's Health Center. The city is expected to post $2.2 billion in retail sales in 2019, which is up 3.6% from last year. Total housing starts will also increase by 10% this year. U of L researchers are studying the underlying biological processes associated with the development of Alzheimer's disease, thanks to almost $300,000 in funding. The money comes from the Alzheimer's Society of Alberta and Northwest Territories and the Alberta Prion Research Institute.
This is a project that we started a few years ago, and we have made some discoveries, and this is one of the things that we don't necessarily have an end date. Because it's a fundamental neuroscience. We have to understand first what things are changing in the brain. And if we know those answers, then we can basically try to find a way to slow down or stop the Alzheimer's disease.
The most important reason for doing research that is fundamental is because at the moment we have no way of slowing down or treating Alzheimer's disease. Understanding exactly how the brain changes as we age and as Alzheimer's disease takes hold will give us targets for future treatments.
One of the big factors related to this is stress, and we're really interested in the effect of noise as a stressor. So people who live near busy highways, by airports and so on, actually show the effects of stress, and that appears to accelerate the onset of a variety of neurological conditions, including Alzheimer's.
According to the Alzheimer's Society of Canada, more than 500,000 people were living with dementia in our country last year. With about 25,000 new cases diagnosed every year, the number of people with dementia is expected to rise to around 1 million by 2031. Looking for something fun to do this weekend? City pools are getting into the holiday spirit by offering a food bank swim at Stan Seawick, Fritz Sick, and Nicholas Sharon pools on Saturday, November 16th. Bring along a non-perishable food item or a financial donation to support our local food banks and receive free admission. Collection bins are already on site now to receive donations. Authorities say a boy who pulled a gun from his backpack on his 16th birthday in Southern California and opened fire at his high school saved the last bullet for himself. The shooting yesterday at Saguas High School killed 2 teenagers and wounded 3 others and left the attacker hospitalized in critical condition with a head wound. Investigators have searched the boy's home as they look for a motive for the attack, which seemed to target students at random.
Within approximately 16 seconds, it was over, and the gun was not displayed before that. From the time that he withdrew the handgun from his backpack to the time that he was on the ground with a gunshot wound to his head was about 16 seconds.
People who were the victims were all waiting for second period to start. So they were just like waiting for their class to start. It was almost as if
that's why they were outside in the quad area.
It was almost as if it were to happen at like a brunch or lunch, but there was just less people. But like people were just waiting for their class to start. It wasn't like everyone was in a classroom necessarily.
Our thoughts and prayers, our condolences to all the victims' families, first and foremost. And I want to reassure all the parents of their kids that go to school here in Saugus that we have their safety at heart. It's our #1 priority. Our deputies answered the call and they went towards the gunfire as everybody was running away from it, and that's what they're paid to do, and they did their job willingly. Their own kids are in that school, so you can imagine their concern.
Day 2 of the House impeachment hearings are underway in Washington, and the former U.S. ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, is set to testify. Diplomats have said she was the target of a smear campaign by the Trump's allies. Democrats say Trump's actions toward Ukraine amount to bribery as the president withheld military aid to Ukraine while he pushed the country to investigate rival Democrats. A somewhat of a warm weekend is ahead of us, but a lot of wind. Complete weather details are coming up after the break. Stick around. Welcome back. Here's a look at your weather highlights for today and tomorrow in Lethbridge. Today, scattered clouds with a high of 12 degrees, that is. A low of +2 overnight. That's not too bad. Tomorrow, though, we are expected to see some showers in the forecast with a high of 8 degrees. Nice to see those above 0 temperatures, though. And look what's coming up for Sunday there, +13. Pull out the barbecue. It's going to be mainly cloudy, sunny skies. Lots of sunshine, though, on Monday with a high of 12 degrees. Some showers expected on Tuesday with a high of 4 degrees. And lots of sunshine in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday with highs of 2 and 10 degrees. The almanac says that the highs and lows for this time of year should be a high of 4 degrees, a low of -7. The highest temperature on this day was in 1995. It was 19 degrees. And the lowest was a freezing -26. That was back in 1959. The sun rose this morning at 7:43 a.m. and will be setting at 4:49 p.m. Can you imagine how early that would be if we didn't have that time change? It would be in the 3 o'clock hour, which would be absolutely nuts. Or actually, I have that reversed, don't I? On the West Coast, we're seeing 13 degrees in Victoria and Vancouver today with a chance of showers there. Chance of showers up in Edmonton today as well with a high of 5 degrees, but a lovely 12 degrees in Calgary, and over in Saskatoon +2 degrees with lots of clouds. Regina will see a high of 3 degrees with a chance of flurries, and Winnipeg will only see a high of -4 today with some clouds. Over in the east, we're going to see some snow today. Toronto's going to see a high of 4 degrees, a high of 2 degrees in Ottawa, and Montreal, a high of 3 degrees, snowing in all 3 of those cities. Over in Atlantic Canada, Fredericton will also see some very wet conditions. They're going to be expecting some rain along with some snow. 4-degree high there. Charlottetown will see a nice 10 degrees, but again, it's going to be some wet conditions there with lots of precipitation. Showers expected in Halifax today with a high of 10 degrees. And St. John's, Newfoundland will see a high of 5 degrees. That's your forecast. Here's a look at what's happening in your community.
Here's your Bridge City News Community Calendar. The Mennonite Historical Society of Alberta is holding their fall conference on Saturday, November 16th at the Gem of the West Museum in Coaldale beginning at 1 p.m. Hear about the struggles of conscience in the Mennonite community during the Second World War with guest speaker Conrad Stoes. Registration is $20. For more information, email kenmattis@gmail.com or call 403-929-3604. Come to the Nikayuko Japanese Garden on Friday, November 29th as they kick off the season with their Winter Light Festival, which will run until January 31st. On that evening, the gates will open at 6 p.m. with greetings from sponsors and dignitaries at 7. Admission is $9 for adults, $7 for kids ages 6 to 15, and ticket packages, which include food and drinks, are also available. For more information, visit nikayuko.com. It's the 28th annual Mayor's Christmas Concert on Saturday, December 7th at the Southminster United Church beginning at 7 p.m. Enjoy your favorite Christmas carols performed by the Lethbridge Community Silver and Gold Bands with special guests École Agnes Davidson Senior and Junior Choirs. Come take part in this annual tradition and bring along a donation in support of the Lethbridge Food Bank and Interfaith Food Bank's Christmas Hope campaign. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit lcbs.yapcity.com. And that's your Bridge City News Community Calendar.
Need an extra soap dish? How about a bowl to store loose change? Today's daily life hack shows us how to use a lighter to make those everyday items out of an old CD. Check this out. So cool. Something tells me you could make a pretty penny selling those little homemade dishes too. And that's your daily life hack. The popcorn will be popping and the silver screens will be lit up with some great entertainment this weekend. To tell you more about what's playing, here is Len Binning with another Movie Mill Minute.
Worldwide phenomena Downton Abbey has been made into a motion picture. This time around, the Crowleys and their staff are preparing for an amazing event, a visit by the King and Queen of England.
I want every surface to gleam and sparkle.
A royal luncheon, a parade, and a dinner. I'm going to have to sit down.
How's it all going?
Mary's got it under control.
Hardly.
Black and Blue is a crime drama starring a young rookie police officer who accidentally records the murder of a young drug dealer. The problem is, the killers are crooked police officers. Now she's on the run.
Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies.
She cannot get back to the precinct to upload the footage on that camera.
My cup runneth over.
Every cop and criminal in this city is coming to find her. I want her dead. Put everybody on him. You got a price on your head.
Acclaimed director Ang Lee presents Gemini Man, an action thriller starring Will Smith. He's an elite assassin who now is being targeted by a younger operative who seems to know his every move.
This thing that you're struggling with is fear. Embrace it and then overcome it.
Of all the people in the world to come after me, why would he send you?
And now another update from Samaritans Purse as their DC-8 aircraft left Greensboro, North Carolina last week, loaded with more than 20 tons of relief supplies to aid displaced Syrians. The 4-engine cargo jet landed in Erbil, Iraq on November 11th and was met by their disaster assistance response team.
We are here at the International Airport in northern Iraq. We are so thankful to say that the Samaritans Purse DC-8 has just landed. The plane is loaded with winter coats, jackets, pants, shoes, winter boots, water filters, and tarps. And it comes at a really vital time because we've seen as many as 15,000 people that have had to flee the violence in northeast Syria. These people, men, women, and children, most of them had to leave with nothing, a lot of them with just the clothes that they were wearing. Now that they've crossed into the border, our team is going to be able to respond to these hurt and broken people in the name of Jesus and give them these items that will help make this very difficult winter ahead a little bit easier for them. We ask that you would join us in praying for Syria, that you would join us in praying that the Lord would bring peace to this place as well as peace to their hearts. Thank you.
According to China Aid, authorities have destroyed a church in China and detained its pastors. No legal papers ordering the church as a demolition were provided, but officials tore it down on Friday, October the 18th. It could seat more than 3,000 people and was part of the country's officially recognized church network. It was mid-worship service when the destruction took place.
When the demolition was taking place, the people were still attending church services. This was a legal church within China. Just all of a sudden, the authorities come in and decide to demolish the church. We have the example of Golden Lampstand Church, which was another huge congregation that was demolished last year. We've seen increased church demolitions happening in places like Henan province, where the authorities are just really clamping down on churches, and we've seen increased demolitions of churches across the board.
New research suggests Canada's healthcare system may be coming up short. That is according to Bacchus Barua, who is the Associate Director of Health Studies at the Fraser Institute. Catch the full interview with Barua and BCN's Paul Arthur coming up after the break. Stay with us.